All right, this is Peter Cole, and I'm back. And in this video, I'll be talking about how I soundproof this door for my home recording studio. The door is probably the trickiest part of the room in terms of trying to get some sound control, and that's because it's got gaps at the bottom where the door meets the floor. It's got the little gaps where the door meets the frame, and any little tiny opening there is an opportunity for sound to leak out or leak back in, depending on which direction you're going, right? In my case, it's probably even more important for me to soundproof my door as much as I can, and that's because this is the main connection to the rest of my house. Everything going in that direction towards the studio, I don't have any neighbors, I don't have anyone above me or to the side of me, so this door is really important for me to soundproof. What I ended up doing was a couple of things. So first of all, I got some very inexpensive weatherproofing off of Amazon, and I'll have links to everything in this video. I'll have links in the description of this video, so you can check it out. But I got very inexpensive, I think it was like $10, $15 for a kit around the entire door frame. And then I did a door jamb or a door wedge, I'm not sure what they're called, and that is at the bottom of the door, and that is to control the sound leaking out from under the door. But I wanted to do a little bit more, so I started researching blankets online. And initially, I was looking at moving blankets because a lot of people were recommending the blankets that movers use because they're very thick and they help to kind of absorb some of the sound. And then I stumbled across a company called Vocal Booth to Go, and again, I'll have a link to this in the description. I am in no way affiliated with them. I didn't know much about them until a month or so ago when I started researching. But they had this product, I think this is called the Door Noise Control Blanket. So it's designed specifically for doors. And it was getting great reviews, so I figured I would try it out. It's relatively inexpensive, considering. The other cool thing about it is it comes installed. It comes with an option to get these things called grommets, I think, and they're basically holes in the top and bottom of the blanket. So you can see what I did was I ran a cord, just a metal wire that is used to hang paintings. I got some little hooks, some little fisheye hooks, and I screwed them into each side of the door. And now I have this really cool ability to open and close this thing. It's a little clunky, but it looks pretty darn good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a test. I'm going to break out my decimal reader from my iPhone, and I'm going to do a test with how the sound is controlled with the blanket open. So completely open like this, not covering the door. And then I'll do a test with it closed, and we can see the actual decibel readout and see how much of an improvement it is. So let's do it. All right, well, the results are in. According to the decimal reader on my iPad app, it looks like the door noise cover blanket from Vocal Booth to Go was able to reduce the sound out of my studio by about a dB and a half, which is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I noticed a significant difference between when I had the blanket open and then when I had it closed, and when I was outside, when I was listening to the sound coming out of the room. Of course, it's not perfect. It's still, there is some leakage, but it was definitely duller, and it was just a little bit quieter, 1.5 dB quieter, I guess. One thing I do want to point out, I'm not an expert in this blanket. I don't want to nail it into my door, so that might also be affecting the performance. I have it rather loose. As you can see, it's on this cord, so I can open and close it. I don't have it attached any other way, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that. Maybe some of you folks out there have more experience with this, can comment in the comment section if there's something I should be doing differently. But I just bring that up because it might be impacting the performance. Maybe if this was like really attached to the door somehow, maybe that would improve the performance even more. But for my purposes, this is working well. I love the look of it. I love that it comes with the grommets, that I was able to attach it very simply with this cable here, and now I can open and close it. I can get out the door if I need to, which is of course very important. So I'm quite happy with it. A couple other things before I wrap up, just to make sure you don't forget, if you're soundproofing your own door, regardless of the blanket you use, one of the best things you can do is get a solid door. So if you're trying to soundproof a hollow door, you're going to have a pretty hard time there. You want to try to use a solid door, which I'm very lucky I have a solid door. The other things I did was I added weather stripping around the entire frame, and I'll include links to that in the description of this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel because I got more stuff coming. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you next time.